Be the first to know Nsem-Pii TV.
Yo busuafo ya mama kwa baba Nsem-Pii TV so aha ena Nsem-Pa no wo. President Mahama okoshia CEOs no nkomo bi koso. Na san nkomo we free a particular government agency, the Environmental Protection Agency. Na omoni CEO your friend Nana Brown Kluche. Or the Nsem-Pii beto form ho. Or say Galamsey ejumadia ekoso wo Ghana afi the turbidity level recommended level no ansa na Ghana water ebetimi a process ama Ghana fo nya nsuo anom na 2000 ba okọ central region the region of Ghana's vice president Professor Jane Nana unte say waka we about Galamsey 94,800 and edu ade a say 2000 you know 94,800 and a turbidity level for the central region. The Professor Jenana Edema Central Region for no. Now Nana Brown Kluche EPA CEO no Embeka Semayintia or say yawo chemicals bi yako lab yedi egu cap mu yedi ateche egum ene yedi sa chemicals na gu sa cap num ena ama ensuo nani ate krogen enti moma misika na mekoto sa chemicals ni ba bedeba be gu Galamsey ensuo ni na ye pacha no eni beti krogen Ghana oho ne yeko na ansanda mopese mu se ye adwuma no menya piloting insuo bi me de betwa pilot na no here 2.4 billion, that is $200,000 into 2.4 billion say cedis to dollar ne even 12 cedi mpo aye de cho mo 12 cedi nim say nansi kwa akodu 14 ye de cho mo 12 cedi ya 2.4 billion. Yen fama Nana Brown Kluche ni ensema no nonko chemicals ne mbra no fam begu nsuo nim yenim se central region no be start you, western north no be start you, Ashanti no be start you. Nana Kluche nsema oka no na Dr. Kenashigbe coalition for anti-Galamsey, media coalition for anti-Galamsey. No there wakasetia illegal mining over the years, even 2020 kra. President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo nim kra or raise the concerns of Chairman Wontumi, because that time His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo etia ban so no be him say Chairman Wontumi or into mining. And no money say Ghana for ankasa any large scale mining into the likelihood say maybe Chairman Wontumi as a small scale miner yes some form of land degradation Galamsey ni ha into no kasetia ene Kenashigbe na ankasa taso kasetia at the levels illegal mining e kodua stand dogbe say Kenashigbe MPP ni enti na o kasasa ene yanya Kenashigbe voice or reply stand dogbe or say mo brata kwa nswayem MCE or represent the president only MC president or every constituency municipal chief executive or yes a president or MC na nkasa ti ho eni yetu Galamsey na nkasa ma even railway ase etu ye the video no be kire Kenashigbe kra ka ho asem o say no koso so enu de unhu ye stand dogbe we deputy chief of staff MCEs no omo report to wo no wan kasa wo say o MPP ni enti no kasa sa no Kenashigbe a reply no na Ghana for Nsem-Pa ye say you for 2.4 billion Emma Nana Kluche no the chemicals ba na fishes ne ada materials are won nsuo on betima survive sa chemicals and sa chemicals ye de gua ye de fa through Ghana water nkofo betima no mana Ghana Nkoti Dr. Kenashigbe.
The minister at the when the president met the CEOs talked about the mining community, the mining committees that were going to be set. When they do that, it's the municipal or the district CEO that would be the chairperson. And these people, again, they are either the MUSEC, the municipal security committees, or the district security committees, the mining committees that were going to be set. When they do that, it's the municipal or the district CEO that would be the chairperson. And these people, again, they are either the MUSEC, the municipal security committees, or the district security committees, the chairperson. And these people, again, they are either the MUSEC, the municipal security committees, or the district security committees, the chairperson.
Right.
And so when you have these people representing the president in these municipalities, and the president has given them a charge to fight Galamsey, and I can see, driving from Takwa yesterday to Takra, before you enter the Nsem-Pii town, you can see excavators on your right-hand side, and so I was speaking to the driver who was bringing me. And he tells me that it's a common practice. And so as we drove, getting close, you see a lot of it, on the side of the road. And he tells me that if you go in the sad bit is that most of the people who are involved in this are not indigenous Nsem-Pii people.
Right.
They are people who have come from outside and are doing this. So it is important that the North, they should be dismissed for incompetence. And again, His Excellency should investigate them for complicity. And not only should we end it at just the municipal chief executive and the police commanders and the National Investigative Bureau people, the chiefs, whose land is that happening? If I had gone into that Nsem-Pii community and taken a cutlass and hoe, going into any of those communities wanting to farm, some chief will come and say it's their land. So that land that has been destroyed by those excavators and on those water bodies that have been impacted, those lands should be confiscated to the state, and the chief should be not. They should be dismissed for incompetence, and again, His Excellency should investigate them for complicity. And not only should we end it at just the municipal chief executive and the police commanders and the National Investigative Bureau people, the chiefs, whose land is that happening? If I had gone into that Nsem-Pii community and taken a cutlass and hoe, going into any of those communities wanting to farm, some chief will come and say it's their land. So that land that has been destroyed by those excavators and on those water bodies that have been impacted, those lands should be confiscated to the state, and the chief should be not. They should be dismissed for incompetence, and again, His Excellency should investigate them for complicity. And not only should we end it at just the municipal chief executive and the police commanders and the National Investigative Bureau people, the chiefs, whose land is that happening? If I had gone into that Nsem-Pii community and taken a cutlass and hoe, going into any of those communities wanting to farm, some chief will come and say it's their land. So that land that has been destroyed by those excavators and on those water bodies that have been impacted, those lands should be confiscated to the state, and the chief should be commanders and the National Investigative Bureau people. The chiefs, whose land is that happening? If I had gone into that Nsem-Pii community and taken a cutlass and hoe, going into any of those communities wanting to farm, some chief will come and say it's their land. So that land that has been destroyed by those excavators and on those water bodies that have been impacted, those lands should be confiscated to the state, and the chief should be going into any of those communities wanting to farm. Some chief.
Friday, would you say that after some days and these engagements, you see that the political will is showing up or not?
Well, again, you need to give the president the benefit of the doubt. This thing had happened on Friday. For us at the coalition, what we then did, like the Catholic Bishops' Conference also did, was that we presented the paper which we had shared with you, the media. So we definitely need to give the president and the minister some time. I know for a fact that NIMOS, the deployment for NIMOS is going on and all of that. But we need to make sure that, government officials who are sabotaging His Excellency's will to crack the whip are also dealt with. And we need to also make sure that if there are any politically exposed persons who are preventing this government appointees from doing their work, they also should be exposed. So I think it's early days, but fortunately, what the president did in closing the session is inviting all of us, the media, civil society, Ghanaians, to join this particular fight. And then also he promised us that there's going to be we're going to continue to do this. So the issues about monitoring and evaluation is important. The minister was also clear. He said, if you see something, say something. So I'll urge everybody, the same way that multimedia is investing money to go into these communities and expose, these environmental criminals who are behind this. Anybody who sees anything, please share it. Share it on social media. Send it to anybody else who also can work on it. And let's get to work on it. Currently, there's one situation happening in the Western North that had been brought to my attention. That definitely I'm going to get multimedia to look into. I have shared that with the NIMOS team as well. Okay. And I'm pretty sure NIMOS would also be getting on the back of it. We should make it, as the NIMOS commander said that day, we should make Ghana an uncomfortable place for these criminals who are the people who are funding this, not the people in the pit.
Right, responded to it, but comments like this, do they demoralize you? They still encourage you the fight against illegal mining?
I'm not too sure that will have any impact. The only challenge and the reason why I responded to the comments is basically for you, the journalists. We've been doing this since 2017, and so I want you all to know that what we were doing in the past was not because we were against any particular government, and neither again are we against this particular government. And we should bear in mind that His Excellency the President himself has invited us to do this. The Minister for Lands and Natural Resources has never stopped asking all of us to join. So let's not be worried about that. But you all know, and everybody knows, that when I was in Koforidua on the same platform with His Excellency, the former president, asking him about contact mining, I was not doing that because I was against the NPP. Neither was I doing that because I was for the NDC. So I am not. There's no partisan thing so far as this is concerned. There's no negativity. The only challenge is that you and I, as Ghanaians, we're dying. And so what all of us can do to support this is what we should do. But I think that, we should not worry too much about, about that. It is Mr. Standobe, and him, he knows it. We have felt that, when we used to work together. This government will come and say, you're against me, the other government. So it is not new. And so for me, I would not take that to heart at all.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us on the news. We shall bring you the area view a bit later in a subsequent bulletin. But still on illegal mining, the Environmental Protection Authority, EPA, says it has proposed a groundbreaking technological solution to address the devastating impact of illegal mining on rivers. The authority plans to introduce a copper-based nano-liquid, which laboratory tests have shown to effectively decchemicalize and purify heavily contaminated water bodies. The piloting phase is expected to cost approximately $200,000. Speaking on the probe with Carlos Kaloni, EPA Chief Executive Officer Professor Nana Brown-Kluche expressed optimism that Galamsey-induced pollution can be reversed. She highlighted that the innovation demonstrates how science and technology can repair years of environmental damage.
Thus, we know that the technology is available, it's proven. Particular application of this technology is also proven. We have seen examples in Greece. You have seen some in the US, in Israel, in Turkey, wherever. But this has been tested in Greece. I have seen for myself. We have done the test in the lab. So the EPA advised the government that this, we have tested, it works, and it's doable. All we need is the financial means to do this procurement.
How much is it going to cost the taxpayer? We've seen billions of dollars for the US one.
Yes.
Have we quantified yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
But to do a pilot to show to Ghanaians and even the presidency that this is doable, we need $200,000 USD.
Well, so many countries, including the US, have explored the use of dechemicalized process to purify their contaminated water bodies. And I shall be showing you on your screen now the overview of that. Now, the fight against illegal mining, we're showing you the ugly, well, we've been telling you the turbidity level, but for water turbidity in central region, which has been the focal and the focus point in our conversations, it's 94,800 NTU. Between that and then the Setre Heman water plant has 14,000. It tells you that the Konyaku water plant, as of September 2025, is the highest level of NTU. However, the recommended is 2,000. So you can understand where the Konyaku water plant really is. We have also shown you the overall view of it in the central region. But let's talk about the dechemicalization initiative, which has sparked a lot of conversation. Now, there are new chemicals that have come that allows you to treat water and take out the toxins and the heavy metals. The president has been speaking. And as well, the lands minister says that we have also part of initiative focusing on dechemicalization, the water bodies, and making sure we protect these water bodies. It continues to say, but corporate Ghana must come and support collectively in the fight, especially reclaiming our water bodies and dechemicalization program. It is a very expensive undertaking. Let's look at the global outlook. It says that for a large-scale dechemicalization feasibility, whether it is feasible or just a wishful thinking, here's a global background. Globally, several countries have attempted large-scale river decontamination, and says that the focus area will be heavy metals, industrial influence, mining waste, and chemical residues. It continues as well to say that dechemicalization often combines chemical, physical, and biological methods to at least one, coagulation, chemical precipitation, ion exchange, absorption, bioremediation, and dredging as well. All of these are key technologies that are used if you want to go into the dechemicalization, and still answering the question of whether it is feasible or just a wishful thinking for us as a country. However, in the US, Project Detroit River, for the pollution type, it was heavy metal PCBs, and the technology that was used was dredging plus chemical precipitation with amount of 1 billion USD, and as well the success rate 80% contaminant removal. And here's the global outlook again for USA. Again, Project Passaic River, the pollution type was dioxin metals, and the technology that was used was dredging plus capping, and it cost $1.3 billion as well, with a 75% success rate as well. Still looking at the global outlook as to whether we can as well dechemicalize. If we go to Turkey, Golden Horn, the pollution type was industrial and sewage. The technology used was dredging and aeration, and the amount that was used was $800 million, with a 90% success rate of recovery. And in China as well, they use a rare earth mining waste to as well to dechemicalize the project, technology, chemical and biological, with 5.5 billion USD used, with 70% success rate as well in China. And for Africa, Save Water Africa, Mozambique, the pollution type was organic and heavy metals, and the technology was electrochemical oxidation, with 3 million euros used, and that was 60 to 70% success rate for Africa, right here at Mozambique. Now, the challenges that we're likely to face, if it's not just a wishful thinking, will be high capital and energy cost, complex chemical mixtures in rivers, and also for the time, full recovery may take decades, even when we spend all these huge amounts of money in trying to dechemicalize our water bodies. Well, for Ghana, we have over 18 rivers polluted by Galamsey activities. And so we're going to be needing some huge amounts of money to be able to dechemicalize these rivers, these 18 rivers, if it's not just wishful thinking and if it is feasible. And this is why the Lands Minister has been asking that corporate Ghana and everybody should as well support the fight against dechemicalization. But away from that, police in the Bono region have launched a manhunt for gunmen who stormed Nsem-Pii in the German North District yesterday, unleashing terror during a violent clash that left several injured, including police officers. The violence, which broke out at the Nsem-Pii main market between rival factions, quickly escalated into heavy gunfire exchanges. Police rushed to the scene to restore order, but their intervention was met with sustained fire from the armed groups. Now, I'll read to you the police statement from that area. It says that the Bono Regional Police Command has restored calm at Nsem-Pii following a violent clash between two rival factions, Somadua and Sangba Jafia, which erupted at the Nsem-Pii market on Sunday, 5th October 2025 in the Bono region. It goes on to say police received a distress call on the same day reporting an exchange of gunfire between the factions, which also resulted in the burning of several stores in the market area. A team of police personnel was immediately deployed to the scene and to escort a Ghana National Fire Service tender and an ambulance which is conveying a pregnant woman to a hospital. The police team, however, got caught up in the exchange of gunfire from the armed groups. Some officers sustained gunshot injuries, and the service vehicle with registration number GP686 veered into a ditch during the crossfire. The injured officers were rushed to the Nsem-Pii Government Hospital for medical attention. 7 were treated and discharged, while 1 officer who sustained a head injury has been referred to Komfanoche Teaching Hospital in Kumasi for further treatment. And assault patrols have since been intensified in Nsem-Pii, and the situation remains calm. The Bono Regional Police Command assures the public that every effort is being made to arrest all individuals involved in the disturbances. And so that's the update that we have for you from the police following that clash that happened in Nsem-Pii in the Bono region. But away from that, Ghana's business community is up in arms against the Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG, and Ghana Water Limited, with 3 major associations: the Food and Beverage Association of Ghana, Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA, and Ghana Plastic Manufacturers Association, calling for sweeping reforms. The association has slammed the utility companies as leaking baskets due to alleged waste and inefficiency, and are demanding immediate action to address these issues. The associations want the president to establish a committee within 30 days to tackle challenges such as technical and commercial losses, revenue collection, and operational shortcomings. John Awuni is president of the Food and Beverages Association.
I've invited you here to help us make an agent and a clarion call to the President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama, and the NDC government that Ghanaians massively voted for in the last general elections, to immediately elect the reset agenda that His Excellency sold to Ghanaians and which we bought, kickstart at the ECG and the water company respectively. We are here by warning that approving new tariffs hikes for utilities, especially the ECG and the Ghana Water Company, without deep reforms would be a profound injustice to the businesses and households of Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, the Auditor General's report year after year and data from the Energy Commission of Ghana reveal that ECG in particular is bleeding money through inefficiency, corruption, and waste. How on earth can a company like that ever make profit? How can tariff ever solve their problems? Every increase in tariff is like pouring water into a basket, and that's the position of industry. That no matter the amount of tariffs that is put on it, that is increased, it will continue to be like we are pouring water in a basket. That basket will never get full. It will never hold the water, and that is what has happened over the years.
President of GUTA, Joseph Obeng, said Ghanaian traders struggle to export goods because of the country's high utility rates and warned that the government's 24-hour